Welcome back to the light side of the internet, everybody. Breakups. They're a thing. That's a thing. That's the thing that happens. Some breakups are easy, like when someone refuses to answer who they voted for in 2024 on the second date. Some breakups are a little tougher, like when you're 6 months in and your friend just tells you, girl, no, grown men should not have streaks in their underwear on a semi-consistent basis. That one's kind of on you. Should have smelled that one a bit sooner. But some breakups are different. They can be earth-shattering, paradigm shifting, and they can feel like how I feel when I realize that you aren't subscribed yet. How dare you? A good chunk of you out there may have actually experienced this type of canon event breakup before. It's a 2 to 4 month fiery relationship that sweeps you off your feet into the sky and then choke slams you back into the ground, Undertaker style. And really just leaves you wondering, what could have been? When I went through my canon event breakup, I was taking multiple breaks daily, going into the parking lot of my job and just ripping vapes. I cut off contact with everyone that I knew outside of my family and then moved back home. I even went to therapy. Me! Therapy! An Asian man! Do you know how down bad an Asian guy has to be to actually go to therapy and pay attention to his emotions? Ugh. Yeah, I'm never letting the ops catch me like that again. I guess if any of you ladies want your man to go to therapy, you know what to do. But I will say, no matter how unhinged or unpredictable I became, I am proud that I have never publicly crashed out and posted videos explaining to the world exactly why I should have become an ex-boyfriend in the first place. And then have my favorite influencer comment, "Bro, this is wild," on the video. And then immediately fold like a omelet right after. But I know a guy who did. I want to introduce this guy.
Listen to your partner's wants. That's probably what's best for you.
This guy right here.
Are your friends really going out, dressing provocatively, getting some drinks, whatever?
This handsome lad.
Hate to break it to you, but that's a really dumb mindset.
This well-built American specimen. This white boy.
Okay, you might be stupid.
Look, we've all been here. We've all been through that type of breakup that just kind of makes you say the wildest shit. Especially dudes. Like, dudes watching this is very, you know, we're all very familiar with the type of crash out this guy is going through. And as someone who's kind of in a position to help him and kind of knows where he's coming from, I think I'm in a unique situation where I can try to, you know, kind of be his therapist, kind of help him along. You know what they say, can't spell therapy without Ray. So let's break this video down and kind of get an insight of what might have gone wrong, what potentially went down during this relationship of his, and what could have possessed a man to post himself on the internet for everyone to see, spewing his own opinions and, you know, in general being an obnoxious nuisance to society. I don't know. Couldn't be me.
I think we're just gonna rip off the Band-Aid and go straight into this one. But it is not controlling or toxic.
I thought it was gonna be the Band-Aid on his nose, but he has a lot of Band-Aids on.
But it is not controlling or toxic, as a lot of people would call it, to listen to your partner's wants, okay? Or their thoughts. When they say they would prefer if you didn't go out to the bar with your single friends, that's probably what's best for you.
Okay, so I just want to make this very clear first. Yes, that is toxic, and no, that's not toxic with the quote unquote toxic. That's just what it is. That's like some guy going into work and saying, "Oh, what am I drinking? Just some liquid," or alcohol, as some people would call it. I'm sorry, what else would you call tequila at 9 a.m. in the morning? Alcoholism? The word alcohol is still in that.
Because think about it, are your friends really going out just for themselves, just to have a fun night, being single, dressing provocatively, getting some drinks, whatever, and not expecting some guys to come stare or hit on them or whatever?
Are you tired of having to deal with boys like this? Are you tired of having to listen to people who think they know more about your body than you do? Do you maybe just want to enjoy your book in peace? Well, then it's the perfect time to introduce today's sponsor, Bellesa. Bellesa is a by women for everyone wellness company that I'm teaming up with today to do a massive giveaway. And I don't mean model trains, okay? I mean the toys that go That's right, every single person that signs up using my link in the description will win a free Rose toy with their order. Blessa's toys are made with medical grade, body safe silicone and come in discreet, travel friendly cases that make it easy to charge and easy to smuggle through your long and hard family vacations. Okay, who's in charge of script? Plus, with their new whisper line, it won't sound like, but it'll sound more like. And if you're worried about your order's packaging, don't you worry, Blessa's got you covered. They have discreet, incognito, and super secret packaging. So your roommate will kind of just think you're really leaning into your arts and crafts era. Damn, that's like the 6th package this week. Plus, they offer a 1-year hassle-free warranty and a 10-year quality guarantee. Blessa will legit send you a free Rose suction toy when you sign up for the giveaway using my link in the description below and place an order. So go grab yours while you can. Thank you to Blessa for sponsoring today, and let's get back to the video.
Not expecting some guys to come stare or hit on them or whatever. No? Don't think so? Okay, you might be stupid.
We've got to drop the notion that girls only get hit on when they're dressing, quote unquote, provocatively. Girls can be in sweatpants and a hoodie and get catcalled 9 times on the street in one walk. It does not matter what they're wearing. It doesn't matter where they are. That's just gonna happen. So if the main thing that you're worried about is that your girl is gonna get hit on when she's going out or in public, I think it's best to just lock her in whatever Mormon dungeon you came out of. That's probably the only solution that's gonna work here. That's not actual advice. Do not do that.
When your partner says, hey, I'd prefer if you didn't follow this person on Instagram, or hey, I prefer if you didn't have Snapchat because it's a toxic app and it's not the best for my mental state, whatever, okay? You should willingly unfollow or delete that app because it is affecting your partner's mental state, okay? You should be constantly reassuring your partner that you are in it for the long run and you are in it for them and not for anyone else.
If you're insecure, just say it. If you're not ready to date a baddie, just say it. If you need therapy, just say it, because I'm here. If you're in a relationship and you need constant reassurance from the other party to make sure that they're still interested in you, that kind of just sounds like you're clingy and you need to work on some shit before you get into that relationship. Can you imagine being on the other side of whatever this relationship was? Like, you have to always basically make sure they're all okay and satisfied. And it's not only that, no, it's not even making sure they're satisfied. It's just having to prove to them that you're in it for the long run. 100. Do you know how exhausting that is? That's not having a partner, that's having a very badly behaved dog. Why I'm a cat person.
Don't be peacocking or in a relationship while looking for something else at the same time, so you're out there flaunting it just to fill a void, okay? It's not toxic to want what's best for your partner, okay? You're the toxic one if you think it is toxic or controlling.
Oh my God. I'm not being toxic, you are. All I'm trying to do is have my wants and needs and desire to control you put on you, and all you have to do is listen to it. I don't see how that's controlling or toxic in the slightest. It's actually you that are toxic for calling me toxic. I don't even know what that voice was. I don't know why I did that. Hope you guys like that. And yes, you know what? I'll grant you this. It is not toxic to want what's best for your partner. It's just, unfortunately, what you want for your partner is super fucking toxic. At the end of this, I'm just thinking, like, do you hate your partner? Why am I just imagining that his inner monologue about his partner is just, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress. If you don't like the way your partner goes out, the way your partner dresses, the way your partner has friends, maybe, and I'm just going out on a limb here, you just don't like your partner. If the way you describe your partner is starting to sound like a Kendrick verse, reconsider that relationship, perhaps. So yeah, honestly, I would probably have to agree with this man's favorite influencer. And I just want to say I love his response because this man, no backbone, none whatsoever. Bro, love your content. Taken way out of context. Didn't phrase it right and could have said it differently, but this didn't apply to my relationship with my girlfriend. Just try to talk about making compromises with your partner. Brother, what context was it taken in? He just watched the video. If you make a video and post it online saying, I don't know.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
It doesn't really matter what the context is. That's just what people are gonna hear. And it's not like anyone made him post this. Like, you didn't phrase it right? Okay, rephrase it and post it. This isn't a live stream. You have multiple takes. This part here took me like 5 takes just to get right. That's just showbiz. Okay, get with the program. So, judging by his attitude towards his biggest hero, he folded, right? Like he gave up. He not necessarily apologized, but at least acknowledged that, you know, what he said was pretty super duper toxic, right? If you're not familiar already with this joke structure that I do a lot, this is what us professionals in the industry call subverting expectations.
If you don't know me by now, I'm the blue shirt guy. You can actually look that up. I'm pretty,
You don't know me? I'm pretty famous around these parts. Call me the shit eater. Yeah, because I actually don't know why they call me that. I think the name Goat actually makes more sense, if I'll be honest.
I'm the one that's super immature, that's an abuser, that punches walls. I can't remember what else. But you have to realize I put it on an app with millions of users for people to debate it, agree, and disagree with it. It was taken out of context on my end, and I could have said things differently for sure, but I don't care at this point.
I love this thing that happens when people are called out on the internet for being pretty much wrong in every way possible. They always just say, no, it was taken out of context. I actually, I just put this video on for discussion. I was actually just generating engagement. I was engagement farming. No, actually, do you want to rewind to see the tone that you said this in?
Not expecting some guys to come stare or hit on them or whatever. Don't think so? Okay, you might be stupid. Let's just, hate to break it to you, but that's a really dumb mindset.
And as your unofficial therapist, I have to say that the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem.
When people say, I date to marry, they aren't saying as soon as you get into a relationship, those two are getting married. No, you get into a relationship to check each other's boxes so that you can get to marriage. You don't date just to, date that person. Why do you date to end things? If you don't date to marry, what are you doing? You are dating to end things. You are dating for heartbreak. You are dating to fill an empty void within you, temporarily. So when I say I date to marry, I date with the intention to marry, but that doesn't mean as soon as I get into a relationship that things are going to marriage.
I think this is maybe just a general worldview thing, but yes, if you're doing dating long term and you're serious about a person, obviously that eventually, hopefully will end up in marriage. I've been in plenty of relationships, both my fault and their fault, where I was just in it for the fun. The only thoughts that were going through our heads was, you're hot, I'm hot, let's have some fun. It was a fun relationship, and kind of kept going until it didn't. And you know what? That's totally fine. From what it sounds like here, it really just sounds like he's really butthurt about getting broken up with. He says, you're dating to fill an empty void within you temporarily. I don't think that's the case. I think they just decided that you weren't the one. Tough pill to swallow, I know, brother. Here, bring it in. Bring it in. It's the problem with using natural lighting. Sometimes it just don't work out. Remote's dead. I can never decide what the best temperature is. Does that seem good? Is that good? Is that good? Let me know in the comments. Is that good? Okay, so in his worldview, the only people who should be getting into relationships are ones who are looking to marry. Screw self-discovery or experimentation or, I don't know, having fun. Is that not a thing for this guy? I like fun as a normal person. And judging from this next video, I think that's not the only requirement that has to happen. Because also in his worldview, there's only really a specific group of people that should, I don't know, be chasing relationships. Namely ones without history, or mileage, or has never been verified by Carfax.
I already know this one's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. And a lot of people hate hearing this, but your past matters. And I'm sure I just lost a lot of people to scrolling. Oh my gosh, I hate this guy. Men and women, your past matters. Okay? Argue with Wall on this one because it's backed by psychology. All right? Look this up. Having multiple partners and what it does to your brain.
I have to agree. Now hold on. Bear with me. I agree in the fact that, yes, your past matters. But why is it only the sexual history that matters? I think your past matters if you happen to be a serial killer in your past. Or, I don't know, you used to kick dogs, and by used to I mean like last week. Or maybe you're in the Epstein files. Those could all matter. So why is it only body count or who you slept with or what type of sex you're having the only thing that matters to this guy. Yes, your past matters. Everything matters. Why are we only pointing out the one that enforces our puritanical society? And to add to that point, what's wrong with casual sex? When I get home from a long day of work of doing nothing, sometimes all I want is some nice casual sex. I don't have the bandwidth to handle ranked competitive sex right now. My elo is in the shitter. I will choke in the first 5 seconds. Okay, so as this guy's unofficial therapist, I have a couple observations to make. He has very traditional values. He likes to be controlling, but doesn't admit that he's controlling. Considering what my last video was on, I'm starting to sense a pattern here, which, by the way, if you haven't watched my last video, shame on you. That was one of my favorite videos that I've ever made, and I was really proud of it, so why didn't you watch it? I have my suspicions of what this guy is. But I think I'm gonna need a couple more videos to really draw out some concrete conclusions.
So something I've been seeing a lot recently is about, like, from women, from girls, is the question, why did he only use me for my body? And first of all, men are naturally, right now, are having a harder time with lust than ever before, okay? And most of those reasons are because of women, okay? We have to battle them by ourselves already. But if we have to open Instagram, we have to open TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it is, and see a half-naked woman, right? All over. You can't scroll without seeing half-naked women. And then you ask yourself why they only use you for your body. Look at the way you post yourself, okay? If you're only feeling confident wearing that, they're only going to see you in that. If you can't dress modestly and feel good about yourself, you have a deep-rooted issue, okay? But men need to work on their lust. And we all know that, okay? We all know that.
There's so much to unpack here. Starting off, first, but definitely not least, this is just a self-report. I know I kind of made the same joke in the last video. This, okay, like my 7th grade English teacher always said, show, not tell. This is my Instagram Explore page. Do you see that? Not a single half-naked woman. Your algorithm shows you things that you're interested in. It's your own damn fault that you're seeing half-naked women on Instagram. What a classic way to deflect responsibility. I'm the one who's lusting. I'm the one who can't control myself, but it's your fucking fault. But let's play this game just for a second. Let's entertain this idea. What if all women suddenly did dress how he wanted them to dress, which is quote unquote modestly, whatever that means? Would women still be lusted after? Let's take a look. Women these days all dress like sluts. Look, they're barely wearing anything these days. Women these days dress far too promiscuously. Look at this photograph here. They're barely wearing anything. The women these days, they dress all like harlots, all of them. Look, they're barely wearing anything. Yeah, so it doesn't look like any difference was made. Look, I know we already went over this, but it doesn't matter what women wear. No matter what, they'll always be perceived as wearing too little. And don't take my word for it. Look at this portrait of Queen Victoria. In my eyes, she's dressed fairly modestly for our standards, but back then this was considered a very private photo because showing the hair down and shoulders exposed was considered salacious. And I think what also takes me out is the hypocrisy in the fucking comments section. And I want to make sure, like, I'm not shaming people for posting this and being proud of their bodies. That is, I think that's a good thing. But we are analyzing these profiles in the perspective of this very constrained and puritanical view that all of these commenters and this guy share. Don't take me out of context. Agostina Tolli says, "Thank you as a woman for speaking the truth." Yiddies. What's this? More Yiddies. What's this? More Yiddies. I'm just saying, in the very constrained worldview that we're talking about, this seems a little hypocritical. And I'll be honest, this is pretty modest for modern standards, I suppose, but back in the 1600s, you'd be burned at the stake for this shit. Here, let's do another one. Tara, wellness lifestyle. As a woman, I completely agree. Tara, why is your first pinned post of you in a bikini? Is this not attention seeking? Is this not against exactly what you're trying to support with that comment? Seems a little hypocritical. And why are we just focusing on the women here? Let's go to Tommy's own page and kind of find out what he has. All right, scrolling, just him talking, just him talking, just him talking. Oh, shirtless video. Oh, what's this? More shirtless video. This is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to these types of influencers or these types of more traditional value type of people. It's rules for thee, but not for me. I can post shirtless videos and gym progress pics all I want, but the second that any woman does, she's automatically low value and I shouldn't date them. I had a punchline here, but I'm pretty sure you get the point. Okay, so based on all the current evidence and the quasi-religious undertones that all of his videos have, I'm gonna have to diagnose this guy as being from Utah.
So this is such a Utah thing to say, but I don't even care.
Boom! I was right. I'm a god. Not their god, but I am a god.
If she wanted me to delete any social medias or whatever, I would. Out of respect for her, not because that's controlling, and want to make sure that she knows that I care for her, and would delete a social media app for my relationship to continue.
If someone told me delete your social media or else I'll break up with you, I will be downloading more social media, namely Hinge and Tinder and maybe Bumble if I'm desperate. So at this point, I think we have kind of diagnosed all the major issues that caused him to break up with his beloved, so to speak. I think he's good. I think he's recovered. He's learned. I think he's ready to hop back on the blonde hair and blue-eyed dating wheelhouse that is the Utah dating market and get into a new relationship. So what are you gonna be like when you do get into this relationship?
I'm fully taking this take from a chick on this app. I just saw it. And it is such a valid take. So she was saying that why does everyone that gets into a relationship call like gaining a little bit of fat or gaining fat and like stop working out and whatever healthy relationship weight? Why not, when you get into a relationship, you work even harder? You should be working hard regardless, but what if you work even harder and you look better for your spouse every single day? Like, why would I complain if my future wife was wanting to look better every single day and to continue to get hotter? Like, I'd be so attracted to that.
Okay, this is good, but make it better. Okay, you mean like this? No, I mean like make it better. Oh, how about this? Okay, no, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I want you to make it better. Sorry? You know what, screw this, just give it bigger tits.
And vice versa, why would she not want her husband to be bigger, stronger, more jacked, whatever? Like, maybe that's not her preference, but it would be if it was my future wife, right? They would like muscle because they'd marry me and it'd be part of what I do. So they should already know that I'm going to continue to get bigger, right? I think people need to stop making the excuse that, oh, I'm in a healthy relationship now, like I don't need to work on my body anymore. I think it should be the opposite. You guys should be like almost competing with each other to see who can look better in a relationship. And it becomes this like fun game to where you can go and work out or whatever and continue to look better over the years and just create these like amazing bodies.
I'll be perfectly transparent here. I'm the type of person to, no matter what, whether I'm in a relationship or not, I will always put my fitness and my health above most things in my life. And that's because I don't work out for my partner. And I don't think anyone should really be working out or staying fit or, looking quote unquote better for their partner. They should do it for themselves because it makes them feel good and it makes them healthier. The second you start doing something for a partner, that's when it kind of becomes toxic, especially when that partner is saying, you have to do this to conform to the beauty standards that I have set upon you. Where I start to diverge from his opinion is, why is the only thing that's considered better just looks maxing? There's so many other things that define better: getting better at hobbies, building confidence, overall just showing up for your partner in ways outside of just looking hot. It really comes down to, sir, are you telling your partner to get hotter out of a genuine care for their well-being? Or are you encouraging your partner to conform to your interpretation of what better is, regardless of their actual mental or physical well-being? And that you will judge them if they don't conform to your vision of what better is. And I'm sure that most of the time, people don't just get into relationships and lose themselves immediately. Life gets in the way. All of what he's saying is easy to say for someone without kids, but once kids get into the picture, pick two. You can only pick, you can't have all three. Got it? You gotta pick two. And I know I'm gonna get my sleep. You guys read that book, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker? You should really read it. It's really important. Don't want to get dementia or Alzheimer's when you're older. It's not fun. Get your sleep, 8 hours every night. And I'm definitely not eating McDonald's every day, so one of these has got to go. It's also why I don't have kids yet. Well, our time is up. thank you for coming in. I hope you learned a lot about yourself and maybe about your relationships in your past. My secretary will kind of take care of the paperwork and payment outside. So do you do cash, card? No, sorry, I don't take your insurance. I actually don't take any insurance. I'm not even a real therapist. I have no idea why you came here. Anyways, that will be $5,000. This thing is just gonna ask you a couple questions. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye!